is WPSL 1590, Port St. Lucie, the digital talk of the Treasure Coast.
Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you gotta understand we're the ones who, in the first place, encouraged you originally to go ahead and like and share them on social media and with all your friends and neighbors, because it's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Joanne's Nutrition World in Port Pierce. And now, your host, the one and only Joanne Seeger.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning. My voice has been clear all morning, and then, of course, as soon as I start talking.
Ribbit.
So, yes, I apologize for the last couple repeats, but I have spent time with my granddaughter, which was awesome. Definitely have some stories to tell about that time. So are we ready for some breath work, sir? I need some breath work. Can you be the famous counter in the Treasure Coast?
I am the count,
Yes,
because I love to count.
For any new listeners, I only make him count to 5 normally.
That's right, because I have trouble after 5. Sometimes 6, but...
No, but remember, one time you did 8. Remember? That was an incredible morning. I gave you a gold star that morning. Yeah.
That's where the gold star... Okay, I've been trying to get it off my head for a long time.
I could be like those teachers that give you, some red Skittles and make you go crazy, but,
The only red Skittles I got from teachers were the same types of red Skittles that Greg got from the yardstick on the knuckles.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, a different era. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to ask you, but I thought we were this close to the same age, but maybe not. I don't know.
You don't want to compare with me to age.
No.
You're much younger looking. You could be older than me. I don't know. But
Well, you know why I'm bringing it up.
Why?
My birthday's on Monday.
Ooh.
And I'm a Pisces, so I am totally okay with anyone bringing me gifts. I'm that girl,
Wow.
There's so many people that are like, oh, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. Don't get me anything. It's just another day. I'm like, heck no. I'm celebrating the whole month. And, of course, when I met my husband, he's not a birthday guy. So I'm like, really, it doesn't matter, honey.
He doesn't like getting old either?
No, he just doesn't like celebrate the whole gift thing. He's so good to me every day of the year. But it's like when it comes to gifts, the kids usually have to like encourage him and give him ideas. But, I say, and he always teases me, you said you don't care. And yeah, I care. So
I know a great gift idea, a vacuum cleaner.
That is what he got me for Christmas.
I was just kidding. Oh, no.
But you know why? He knows how much I love my appliances and I love cleaning.
Lucky for him.
When I take a day off, people are like, oh, did you do something fun? I'm like, yeah, I cleaned the house. And they look at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that makes me feel really good. I don't know.
It's
like,
that. Yeah.
I know. It's like you can wake up the next morning, if the kids haven't destroyed it already. And yeah, but I have to tell a story. Okay, so this is definitely going to plug a couple of my products at the store at Nutrition World. Okay, so, but it's absolutely true. And for my loyal listeners know, I experiment on myself and my family members all the time. We're little guinea pigs. But the last time I watched Luna for a few days, she's almost 2. And we have a very steep staircase. And I think as I've gotten older, I'm getting a little fear of heights. I don't know, like even going to the park and climbing up the tall, because she has no fear. Like she wants to go down the big boy slide, right? So I've noticed even having her walk up the staircase, which she's totally capable, it makes me nervous. So I decide to hold her up and down my steep staircase. The laundry's up there and the room's up there. So it does. The first time I watched her a few days, my back, my shoulders, my knees, my body ached. I told Matt that I need a few days recovery because I really felt broken. Okay. Now this time, now everyone that has used my coaching knows that I use frequencies. Like all my devices at the wellness center is about wavelengths and frequencies and pulse electromagnetic frequency, sound healing. So I definitely believe in all this. But a gentleman came to me that is very popular in the industry, and he sells the frequency medicine in a bracelet. So he gave Matt and I two to wear, that I've been wearing for about, I guess it's maybe 3 weeks now. So that was the only difference between the last visit with Luna and this visit. And do you know, I had no aches and pains. And it is a money, it's just like Terry's Curamin that we have sold for 10 years for pain. It is, money back guarantee, and they're kind of stylish. I'm using my two colors that I need to work on, orange and yellow, which we're going to discuss chromotherapy today. But I just want to put that out there that these bracelets really do work.
You
I
said
mean, I had no
chroma?
aches and pains.
Chromotherapy?
Chromotherapy. So
Okay.
that's color therapy.
Okay.
So today, hopefully, if I get through all the material, we'll be talking about chromotherapy, aromatherapy, a little music therapy. Coincidentally, all the things that we do at the wellness center and with my coaching. Haha. All right. But I do want to mention that, we have to do the breath work.
Oh.
Don't let me forget, okay? Because
Don't
I'm
forget to do the
excited
breath
about
work.
the topic,
Okay.
but it always gets me to talk a little slower so
Okay.
that my listeners don't miss a beat. Okay, so everyone, welcome again to the show. I appreciate you spending so much time with me, especially in this busy life that we all have. So we want to exhale anything that doesn't feel comfortable in our body, relax our shoulders, relax our eyebrows, relax our ears. Let's relax everything. And we're going to breathe in for 5, and we're going to exhale. I'm going to test you for 8.
8,
Ha,
5
ha,
and 8.
ha.
5
So
in,
we'll do
8
that
out.
3 rounds. So in for the nose for 5, out through for 8. You can use your mouth or nose for this one, okay?
That's all right.
And
I
then
love to
3
count.
terms, or
Okay.
3 times. Okay, here we
All
go.
right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I
Thank
love
you.
to count.
I love it.
Okay.
Look how awesome my show is. We have sound effects and everything.
We've got the best of today's
Oh.
technology, yes.
So, sometimes when people come to our wellness center, they're like, "Wow, are these therapies new? Are these devices new?" But most of the information historically goes back thousands of years. So what we're going to be talking about today is like from ancient times. And so throughout the years, just amazing people and amazing minds and intellects are putting these philosophies together in machines or devices that we can use in our everyday life, which I love, and that's progress, right? But we don't want to feel nervous about them. Like one example that I try to bring up, and I usually try never to have a conversation that is fear-based, okay? I don't like that. But in truth, most of the ways we think now are patterns and thought process that have been taught to us. So for example, okay, I'm going to test you with this, Cliff, okay? So the test, okay.
Uh-oh.
So what's the first thing that comes to mind? Just one word: headache.
Headache. Oh my. Let's see. Inflammation.
Okay, now you've listened to me too much, so you're a bad test subject.
Bad test
Well,
subject. because I've
usually
been-
people
yeah.
will say Tylenol, okay?
Well, I say acetaminophen, same thing.
Yeah, so right, so like everyone usually has been taught, okay, take the medicine. And so unfortunately, those type of like NSAIDs, pain relieving medicines, just that's one topic, have severe side effects. We give out sheets at the store, So instead of like discussing it, because some people have been using Tylenol for their whole life, some people give it to their children, but yet it destroys the stomach lining, it harms the liver, and you can actually have a heart attack from use of it. So those are really serious things. And so sometimes when people will say, oh, I'm a little nervous about using, essential oils or a supplement, again, there has been no cases of those type of issues with using the natural substances. And most of our beginning pharmaceuticals in the beginning, before they started becoming synthetic and adulterated, were from plants. Everything started from plants. They just kind of derailed a little bit throughout the years. So today we're going to talk about things that, again, have been used since ancient times, very safe, very effective, and I'm going to try to discuss the ones that are really affordable, so you can't even use budget as a restriction of why not to use it. The things like Tylenol and Motrin and even the antacids and stuff, they're getting very expensive. So these things would be the same or less with no side effects. So it's maybe something you can give thought to. And again, these nutrients that are plant derived have been around longer than pharmaceuticals. So just keep that in mind. I think I said that 10 times already? Keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to start with chromotherapy. Now, chromotherapy, again, goes back ancient times, in India, very famous. It's used in hospitals to this day. Also in ancient China, it was used. Ancient Egypt, it was used. And color therapy has been discussed because it absorbs through the skin. I think that's so cool, right? I've told many of my clients, go out in early morning sun, absorb those rays. And that's what really color is. It's like a reflection and really fancy terms here, where it's reflective and the prisms are captured and then our bodies absorb it. So it's really, really cool to use it. And think of when I was growing up in the 80s, interior designers were already understanding how chromotherapy, color therapy was used in restaurants. Do you remember, like, never use certain colors in restaurants because people would lose their appetites, right? Do you remember that?
I thought that was feng shui.
Right? Well, feng shui too. But yeah, it was usually green. Do you remember when a lot of restaurants were using green? Because green is like so neutral. So it would basically be like this very neutral color that wouldn't overstimulate an appetite, but wouldn't lose an appetite. So I'm going to go through the colors because I think it's really, really exciting. And if any of them kind of like speak to you, then go for it. Now, my machine will tell you what colors you need in your life. And for example, if anyone's been to my office, they'll see that I have a lot of orange gadgets and yellow. And that is because that's what I need. No coincidence. It's not in my wardrobe. It's not in my life. And that's why I need more of it. So I am always the blue-green girl. So I need some more of those stronger colors. So we're going to start with the strong colors, like red. So Cliff, what do you think of when you think of red?
Fire or blood, passion, because there's a number of things that red can be associated with.
That is so perfect. You were spot on.
Really?
So, yep. So red, so some people will like think of the negative like anger and stuff, but red truly means power. And red activates the circulatory system, the nervous system. It's great for the heart, absolutely great for the heart. But think of how many people feel low energy. They're using sugar and energy drinks to help their body. But the color red can actually do the same thing. And what does it hurt to go get a shirt that's maybe, a $10 shirt that's red, and it'll also help your adrenal system. So your adrenal glands, these two little glands that sit on top of your kidneys, they're responsible for you to have that perfect reaction time to get out, get up off of bed, to maybe get some exercise, or to not need the big coffee drinks, or not need the energy drinks or the sugar or as many refined carbohydrates. So it's a win-win. So if you have circulatory problem, you can go as far as maybe buying some red socks, right? What will it hurt if it's right? And again, going back thousands of years, this information's there, then what would it hurt? So we have a lot of circulatory and energy problems in our country. So let's bring some more red in. And red's a tough one for me. I bought it because of my system telling me I needed it, but it makes sense that I need more red. Some adrenal exhaustion is a real thing, right? Running a business and lots of other reasons. Okay, the next one that's not talked about as much, but I feel like this is another really important one, and that is the darker pink color. Okay, so not light pink, but not red, just like a stronger pink color. And that one's going to help you strengthen the veins and the arteries and actually work as like a blood cleanser for the arteries. I mean, doesn't that sound awesome? Not many of us, other than when we're dressing the little girls, do that dark pink color, but this is incredible. So it's a beautiful color. Definitely helping. I'm going to clear my throat.
There's a little frog in there. No
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, there he is again. All right. I'm going to drink some water. Talk about pink.
Well, pink is one thing. I've never done the pink high heel shoe thing that they do. Is an annual, I guess, probably breast cancer awareness or something.
Yes, absolutely.
They don't have an 11D high heel shoe.
Oh my God, I want to see your high heels.
Oh
Oh
my.
my God, where did the frog come from? It hasn't been there all morning. Okay, you're gonna have to listen to me with the frog, I guess, this morning.
Or we can find a frog filter for you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the next one, so again, like all these are going to sound really important and exciting, and we are supposed to be using all of these colors in our lives, but we tend to gravitate towards a small category of colors. Just try to step outside your box, and if some of these really speak to you, go buy them. And if you don't want to wear the clothing, then buy objects that you can see in your everyday life, by your kitchen sink or at your work desk, whatever you can do. So pink, okay, so the normal pink is activates and eliminates impurities from the bloodstream. So very similar to the stronger pink, but how incredible does that seem? Okay. So Orange is another one I have to work on, okay? So orange stands for purity, okay? And with this, it energizes and eliminates localized fat. I mean, come on, tell me that doesn't sound great. So I have an idea for any of you listeners that have been seeing all over social media about the castor oil packs, which hopefully I'm going to have a chance to talk about castor oil later in the show. Castor oil packs are getting really popular right now. We can't keep the castor oil in stock. It's incredible. And I've been using it for about 30 years. But castor oil pack, if I'm thinking, based on what orange does, if you do the castor oil pack and put a little orange oil with it, okay, and then you take an orange piece of clothing that you don't care about because castor oil is very staining, and you put that on top of the warming pad that goes on top of the castor oil pack. I mean, great, right? Eliminates localized fat. That sounds exciting. And so if it works, phenomenal, right? And if it doesn't work, so what? You ruined a $5 orange t-shirt. So definitely worth the try. I'm going to start doing it. And orange also, the color helps address asthma and bronchitis. So another great one. Orange, definitely having it in my office is definitely more stimulating. Like my office is normally all peacock colors. So the blues and the greens, like, it's very, very mellow and neutral. And I have to admit, since I put the orange little accents in there, it's a little more like I'm awake. So it's definitely working. And as far as the glands that the orange represents, it's the testes and the ovaries. So I'm thinking if someone's trying to work on their fertility and trying to work on getting pregnant, I would put orange and red together. Those two things would work great. Red representing passion and love and sexual feelings, and then your orange to help support the glands that will produce a baby. So get those two things going. And the next color is yellow, but the darker yellow. So in between regular yellow and orange. And that one basically just overall strengthens the body. So I love that color. As far as in my office, I always think I have strength. It's promoting strength. Now, yellow is a crazy one. And that's how I know color therapy and chromotherapy really work. Because in my life, when I was much younger, I was running a really big health food store. And I had no digestive problems. I mean, I could metabolize faster than anything. My weight was really low. My walls were all bright yellow. Now, postmenopausal, I can't even stand the thought of having a painting that has yellow in it. So it shows you how you change. So I'm definitely trying to bring more yellow into my life again. It's been difficult, let me tell you, but I'm really trying. So yellow represents happiness, and it also represents the pancreas. And for my listeners, I'm sure you're very knowledgeable about the pancreas, but the pancreas is dealing with your sugars, your carbs, your glucose, which can get overwhelmed. Pancreatic cancer, a real nasty cancer. So you want to really take care of your pancreas. And so the yellow color represents reactivates and purifies the skin, and it helps with indigestion and bodily stress. That sounds great for me. So being of Irish descent, I am prone to skin issues, basal cells, all that kind of stuff, right? So I need more yellow. So I'm going to really work on getting that yellow in. All right, here we go. I'm going to cough again. There we go. All right, didn't work. Wow, I apologize, everybody. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so the next color is green. Green represents love, right? I would always think red represents love, but green represents love. That was good, Greg. So Greg just walked in with a note saying cures frogs in the throat and a bottle of Tylenol.
Tylenol.
I'm gonna kick your patootie.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Hey, get me a glass of water. How about that?
Yeah, or a bottle, or
So Tylenol, I'm gonna kill him.
or a bottle of something.
I'm gonna flush this down the toilet when you're not looking. Oh my gosh. All the years I've been doing radio shows and he's still buying Tylenol.
Well, what about Advil? Is that okay?
Nope.
No.
None of them are okay.
How about Vanquish? Remember Vanquish?
And even if you go on their own websites, they tell you the side effects. They're not trying to hide it, but it's in small print down below. You
Side
have
effects
to
may
scroll.
include things like heavy coughing, just hard, heavy breathing, and sudden death, amongst other
Oh my
symptoms.
God. And some of them will say on the bottom of the webpage, read more.
Read more.
Oh, hey, look, it's 10:30. We can do a break and I will get some water and try to clear this frog out, everybody.
Why don't
I'll
you
be
get
right
some
back.
water? Go ahead and get some water.
I'm
You
going to get
oughta
some water.
Get some
Oh,
water.
now he's giving me water.
Oh.
Take that crumb out of
The
there.
water that just mysteriously appeared on the screen of the archive video was Greg handing her some
God.
water. So take a little break, drink a little water, and be right back.
Hi, this is Joanne from Nutrition World and Wellness Center. I am really excited to introduce new guests and topics to my show every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL, where my listeners can call in on any topic. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find it. We want to help you become the best version of yourself. We'll have naturopaths, coaches. I am looking forward to sharing my years of experience with my listeners so we can enjoy this life journey together.
Visit Joanne's Nutrition World in the Crass Square, formerly known as the Arcade Building, located at US 1 and Orange Avenue, across from Fort Pierce City Hall. Open Monday through Friday from 10 to 4, Saturdays 10 to 3. Taking appointments for the Wellness Center online at joannesnutritionworld.com or call 772-464-3598.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return to Joanne's World of Nutrition. Once again, here's Joanne Seeger.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I think I lost the frog. I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, nice bucket, nice frog gig. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh, that was interesting. So we are here talking about color therapy, which is known as chromotherapy, has been used since ancient times and still used today. Not only in other countries, which have been using it much longer than us, but we do use it in our country, but in ways that I think we're not even aware of. Just, interior designers using color to stimulate appetite or to stimulate joy or to be calming and relaxing. So we're using color therapy, but sometimes not as medicine, which it can be used as medicine, which is what I'm discussing this morning. So we already talked about red, pinks, oranges, and yellows, and now we're on green. So green, I really found that so interesting that it represents love. It just, everyone always thinks red, but really it represents love. And I mean, when you go out in nature, when you're around beautiful, lush grass and big trees, I do understand it now because that is the most natural love feeling, right? This just where you're immersed in green, like in a forest, and you just feel so at peace. I mean, I just love that. So green acts as a relaxant, and it also represents the thymus gland. So definitely, I mean, my store, there's a lot of green in it, and I think that's why I just want to feel relaxed and calm. And then green also represents providing anti-infections and antiseptic and regenerative stimulation. So that's like that strong hunter green color that can do that. So another good one to play with. The blue, oh, the blues are definitely my favorite right now. So a stronger blue, okay, helps with the joints, helps address infections and stress and nervous tension. And I know that my mom has believed in this with all 8 children. She must have needed to, relieve tension quite often because she would sometimes let us miss school and say beach day. And we would just go and sit in front of the ocean and swim, and something about those blue waters and seeing this blue sky, we would all just come together as a family, feel better, feel healthier, feel more grounded. So I think my mom was spot on. Quite often I say, how did she do it with 8 kids? That's, oh my gosh, that seems really difficult. But I do think that she used her intuition, and she used, because we didn't have much money growing up. And so I think she used what nature provided, going to the park, like I mentioned, with the green's relaxant. So as all the kids are having all this energy, just walk through this park, which was so funny because growing up on Long Island, I thought the park that we walked in was huge. I thought it was like this big forest. And then when I went back as an adult, it's this tiny little block that had a few trees and a little tiny trail. But as a little girl, it just seemed huge to me. So again, definitely appreciate what Mother Nature is giving us, for with the kids, So a great idea instead of, having them sit down in front of the TV or a tablet. Put them out in the backyard, help them put their feet in the ground, the green of the grass, the blue of the sky, and let that chromotherapy do its job. Okay, so regular blue. Regular blue represents peace, right? What a beautiful, beautiful word, peace, right? So peace can mean so many things. Peace of mind, calmness, feeling satisfied. It's just peace is just so beautiful. So blue represents stimulating the muscle and the skin cells, nerves, and circulatory system.
Which is
And
smiling, basically.
yeah, right. You feel good. You feel good. And the job of the body, and it knows what to do. And I love to say, get out of the way so the body can do its job, right? Because it knows it's so miraculous. We have no clue on how it works. We pretend and we try, but we really have no clue. It's so miraculous. But one thing that these trillion cells do every single moment is make a new cell. Okay, they're kind of like, okay, I'm done, I did my mission, now the next guy comes, right? So to me, that's what the blue represents: muscle, skin cells, nerves, circulatory system, just helping that whole system. I mean, think of what water represents in so much spirituality, right? And religion, and you with baptisms, like water represents so much. The blue water, cleansing, refreshing, renewing, and peace, right? So incredible. And thyroid is the gland that blue represents. And I guarantee that every listener knows someone that has something messed up with their thyroid right now. Hypo, hyper, Hashimoto's, Graves. They're just they can't lose weight, so they're thinking they're thyroid. Thyroid issues are huge right now, and I do think that a lot of us are not turning over our cells properly. We're not giving it new information, good nourishment, some rest. So really give that blue a try. There is a castor oil pack that you can also use for your thyroid glands. So you would do the poultice on your neck. So like I mentioned, with the orange idea for the belly button for visceral fat, you can also try it with the blue cloth on top of the castor oil pack. So in case you missed the first half of the show, a castor oil pack is very simple and very economical to use. So you take organic castor oil, okay? Heritage and Home Health are the two most popular brands that have been around for the longest time. They're the ones that make castor oil packs famous. So you take that and you put it on the area that you want to put the pack on. So for this conversation, we'll talk about the thyroid. So the center of the neck, right below the chin, you would put the castor oil. Now, traditionally, you use wool flannel on top of it. I love the wool flannel because it does not absorb the castor oil. The castor oil stays on the skin, but you just place it on top to kind of, protect it to stay in its spot. And then you usually do for the neck, you can do a light heating pad on low, or some people choose not to use heat on the neck. But you could do a lighter heat where other parts of the body, you can do a hot water bottle or a high heat heating pad. And then the idea with the color therapy is taking like a blue scarf or a blue t-shirt and putting that on top. And then you do need to let the castor oil pack sit for a while. I was taught 40 minutes, and you want to do a repetition of at least 10 times. So 10 days to really see a difference. Some of my clients have reported that they choose to sleep with the castor oil pack, and they have seen a difference quicker than ones that are only doing 40 minutes. But it is a little messy to sleep with, so you want to be careful about the sheets or the blankets you're using so it doesn't cause permanent stains on something that you really spent money on or you enjoy. So that's another thought. So try that blue for that. The next one is indigo. Indigo, what a gorgeous color. I think, am I wearing indigo today? So indigo represents knowledge, and it also represents the pituitary gland. And so it helps address eye inflammation, cataracts, glaucoma, and ocular fatigue. Now, just like the thyroid, there's a lot of that going on too. And remember, your eyes and your brain are connected. So some indigo in your life, what would it hurt? It's a gorgeous color, and we want to really respect our eyes and take care of them. So, and our pituitary gland. So just try some indigo. Now, online, you can buy glasses that represent all these colors. They have packs that represent the colors. With my machine, some people will choose to do 4 different colors a day, depending on the time of day. So for instance, with the circadian rhythm of humans, between 2 and 3 o'clock is when we need like a little reset. And we tend to use the sugary foods and the energy drinks or a coffee drink at that time to get through the second half of our day. But at this point, you can use color therapy to give that a try. Again, it will cost you less and it will cause no harm to your body like the sugar and the caffeine is doing. The last color is violet. So violet represents bliss. I mean, what an amazing word too, right? Bliss. And that is relaxing the nervous and lymphatic system, addresses inflammation and urinary illness. And that's when the pineal gland is the gland that it represents. Now, violet in the holistic healing world is super popular. You'll see, like in my bedroom, I have a lot of violet objects, and the wellness center too. Your violet is really big in wellness. So again, they all hold a place and they're all important. But give this a try. Again, it's not an expense. It's a fun thing to try, right? So now time is flying by. We are going to talk about aromatherapy. I think aromatherapy is much more common, much more popular than chromotherapy, but aromatherapy goes back the same amount of time as color therapy. And so ancient times, ancient Egypt, 4,500 BC is when the first mention of using aromatherapy is. But aromatherapy, I think most people think of like fluff, like, oh, let's put a smell into the air to make it more pleasant. But aromatherapy is much more medicinal than that. We have been using extracts from plants for pharmaceuticals and medicines for a long time. And so we don't want to overlook this as not as powerful as they are. So I'm going to give a few examples that people know when they walk into my store, you will always smell peppermint, right? Peppermint, I mean, some of my neighbors in our building, they'll be like, wow, what's that smell? Or, I mean, most people talk about the scent of my store more than anything, right? And so with peppermint, it helps with mental health, right? It helps your acuity. It also helps keep away headaches. So, right when and it's also cooling. So, being that we're in Florida, the Treasure Coast, high humidity, I want people when they step into the store to feel cool, refreshed, feel sharp, right? And so when we have these serious conversations about their health, we're all really feeling spot on. And so that's really important because when you're warm and feel humid and you just don't, your brain's not awake, it's not a great time to talk about your health. So peppermint is definitely something I would think about first. It's very safe. It smells great and it does mask odors. So, like at home, I have dogs, right? We have kids. Everyone's making odors, right? So, peppermint's great and inexpensive way to clear the air. But on the medicinal side, it also helps fight fungal infections. And so what does humidity breed? Funguses, right? So what a win-win. I've also noticed, because I've been using the peppermint oil for about 20 years in diffusers at my home as well as my store, is that my dogs do not need to do flea and tick repellents. We also keep mosquitoes at bay using the peppermint oil. I've told a lot of my beach customers that no-see-ums are a huge issue on the beach in Hudson Island. So they basically use the peppermint oil sprays to help keep them away. And it's not perfect if you're right out there at dusk, because that's when they swarm, but definitely great for all other times. And I'm right near Orange Avenue and Avenue A where the peacocks are. So if you've never been to Fort Pierce, you definitely have to come check out our peacocks. Like this morning, there was 20 of them all fanning out. Absolutely stunning, stunning. And we have it right there next to the store. Um, but the peacocks do carry fleas. So that's another thing. A lot of times they come on my back patio for the store. So we do the peppermint oil to also deter those fleas. So really good. Peppermint's incredible. And I think everyone knows about peppermint, but the most popular, I'm going to test you on this one. Okay, what do you think the most popular essential oil is? Peppermint's my favorite, but not the most favorite.
Okay, I'm going to take a wild guess.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
No, but that's a great one. That I love cinnamon.
Well, I
So
remember there was a very famous band that used to come to town once in a while, way back when I was in a different type of radio. And whenever this group would come into town and they'd have a concert, they would emit the aroma of cinnamon.
oh my gosh, I love that. I love cinnamon. And so we're definitely going to talk about cinnamon, but no, lavender wins this one.
Lavender.
So lavender is the most common. But lavender is incredible. So most people think of lavender for stress and sleep as a relaxant. But lavender also fights infections, bacteria, fungi. It increases immunity, right? And it's an incredible, incredible flower. Now, not my favorite. I don't know, something about lavender, not my favorite, but it is the most popular essential oil. So lavender has those properties. But the next one that a lot of people overlook is oregano oil. Now, oregano oil, when I speak about it, I am talking about the wild oregano oil. Wild is, they actually gave it a patent called P73, and it is grown on the top of like um, Grecian mountains. So it's wild Mediterranean oregano oil, and it is grown on rocks. And it is incredible with its nutrition and what it can do. So now these claims have all been proven. Now, remember, there's not too much money in things that can't be patented and sold as drugs. So, yes, they don't all have $1 million studies to back them up, but they have thousands and thousands of years of use. And again, a very inexpensive thing to buy and try. And if it doesn't resonate with you, if it's not helping you with what it claimed, then so what? Move on. It's all good. But if it does work, what great power that it gives you and your family to have in your pantry. So if someone has pain, inflammation, or all these other issues, you can try something that's safe first and see if it works. So I'll give you some ideas about oregano oil. So again, the FDA put him up to the test. I've had Dr. Cass Ingram on my radio show, and the FDA in 1999 gave him one of the toughest studies to do, and it not only proved correct, but he outproved it. He did even better than they expected, so they granted him this patent. So the destruction of all molds and fungi, and also viruses, including the herpes virus, inhibition of bacterial growth, including staph, strep, and E. coli. Okay, destruction of the parasite Giardia lamblia, destruction of mold spores in the air. You can put it in a diffuser. halting the growth and or destruction of skin fungi. Now, I don't know if you've ever dealt with skin issues, but when you have eruptions on your skin, if you take a little oregano oil and you mix it with coconut oil and you spread it all over, it's a win-win. Can't hurt anything, and it could possibly help you with whatever your skin is erupting, because it's just things coming from inside that have a waste product that's trying to get out. So definitely give that a try. Also, increasing the output of bile. This is so incredible now because they are taking gallbladders out like there's nothing. Like it's just, they're popping them out like nothing. And the gallbladder helps remove poisons and heavy metals from your body, but it needs the stimulus of bile. Things that are very bitter and astringent on the tongue helps the bile secrete. So you don't want to blame the gallbladder for too much poison in your body and take it out. You want to decrease the amount of poison in your body and stimulate bile to help it do its job better. So oregano oil definitely increases output of bile. I always tell people buy some inexpensive radicchio or bitter vegetables to eat on a daily basis, or do wild oregano oil. North American is the one that makes the wild, by the way, if you're going to look for it. North American. And you put 1 drop on your tongue. Also reversing pain and inflammation. We have many customers that do not like taking pills, so they won't choose to do the Curamin pills, and they'll do like a couple drops of oregano oil. Some of them will even rub it onto their skin or their shoulder or their elbows, wherever the pain is, because it's a little too spicy to take. But they do make pills, so if you can't handle the spice of the essential oil droppers, then you could always do pills. And then the next one that was part of the study is improving the detoxification capacities of the liver. I mean, your liver is dealing with a lot of waste and poisons and trying to clean out your whole body. So why not give it a little help, right? Can't hurt. So you can tell I love oregano oil, right? So most health food stores sell the North American. It's absolutely famous. They make little economical bottles that are $19, or you can get great big bottles for $59. But I would definitely give some oregano oil some consideration. Oh, and they did do really cool aromatherapy studies in doctors' offices where they would have 2 different waiting rooms and they would do different oils. Like, so one would have orange oil, the other one would have lavender oil, and they would give the patients that are waiting for for their doctor to come in. And sometimes you're waiting for an hour. They would give them surveys about how they were feeling when they walked in and then when they were leaving the waiting room. So orange definitely is bringing joy and happiness. So when you're feeling gloomy, definitely think about orange. So because we're running out of time, I'm going to give you some of my favorite combinations for oil. So if you want to get into the oil world, there's incredible books out there, incredible videos and information. But here are some of the ones that Dr. Axe talks about. I do love Dr. Axe. I met him before he got famous, and he's a really great guy. And Jordan Rubin as well. They usually make their videos together. So it's on their show called Ancient Medicine Today on YouTube. So here's some of the famous combos they use for issues. So inflammation, turmeric, and frankincense. Now, I absolutely know for sure that these work because that's what's in the Curamin, the essential oils of turmeric and frankincense. Incredible. As far as ADD, ADHD, before you try those meds, maybe give this some thought. Vetiver and cedarwood. You can make sprays. You can put in diffusers. You can rub it with a carrier oil on the bottom of feet. Blood pressure, lavender and rosemary. Lavender and rosemary is phenomenal for blood pressure, calming. Again, put it on your pulse points instead of using fragrances and old synthetics fragrances that hurt your endocrine system. Give some nice plant essential oils. And when you look for your essential oils, please try to get natural. If they're too cheap, then they're cheap and they're synthetic. So if they're real and steam distilled and organic, if possible, a tiny little bit goes a long way. So it's definitely worth the investment. The next is infections. I already talked about oregano, but also thyme oil. Thyme is really popular for coughs as well, like bronchitis. So we have thyme oil for coughs that we sell in a cough syrup. So infections is oregano and thyme. Diabetes. That's why I think you mentioned cinnamon, because I know that's been on your radar a long time to get your sugar under control. But cinnamon is great. It's also great for low blood pressure. So if you have low blood pressure, remember, low is not so great either. Low and high. You want your blood pressure to be regulated for you, but cinnamon is really good at lowering blood sugar. And you usually need a concentrated amount, not just a little sprinkle on top of your sugary oatmeal. Okay. And then holy basil. Now, holy basil is kind of sacred in India. It's called Tulsi. We have tons of teas that are Tulsi based that are very economical. So if you want to try the tea, or you can buy the essential oil, but Tulsi is fantastic for the human body. So we talked about lavender to help you sleep. It's great for a diffuser in the bedroom. Sprinkle it on the back of your pillowcase. We have depression, orange oil. Orange oil, lang lang, is great. Orange really makes you feel happy. You know, if there's grief in the family, or you're being a caretaker and you're at the hospice point, go get some orange oil. Buy a $12 diffuser. Get that pumping in the house. It will make everyone feel better. I have put this one to the test. Orange oil is incredible. And leaky gut. So a lot of people are suffering with leaky gut right now. And again, these things won't hurt. If you don't know you have it, try it. If you feel better, your digestion's better, your bowels are better, then you probably have it. So ginger and peppermint. So for leaky gut, ginger and peppermint. And ginger's great for all digestive issues. Candida. If you have candida, that's when it's like the sugar monster's controlling you. Your sugar cravings are out of control. Oregano oil and clove is great for dental issues. So you have a toothache, keep clove around. Whew, okay, I think I did it.
I think you did.
All right, everyone. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will be back next week. So have a great one. Thanks, everybody.
Joanne's World of Nutrition, presented by Joanne's Nutrition World, US 1 at Orange Avenue across from City Hall in Fort Pierce. With archives on YouTube, just go to WPSLTV.com. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast. Webcast to the World Sun Palm Financial Show. Straight ahead, it's